Hey, I'm Lolacher with Corey Jansen on Apostasy now. This has been a new experience for me, and a smart man, an educated man. You know, I think it's important to bring social matters out there to people who sometimes don't always have time to sit in front of the TV or the radio. I think a podcast is a very good way of communicating in a different way.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade.
You had to pretend like everything was great, everything was awesome.
The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you.
You know how easier it would have been for me if I could have been able to drive up to the hospital in civilian clothes where it wouldn't have been against my career to say, hey, look, my wife told me she doesn't love me.
I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle.
I started drinking.
We will accept nothing less than full victory.
And drinking's been my worst friend for the longest time.
Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
And I don't think that we as Americans are going to understand why they have post-traumatic stress disorder until we can see the world as they've seen it.
I'm always worried about somebody coming in my house and hurting my family.
But not understanding where it comes from. And I think we sterilize our reporting and don't tell people what war looks like.
Enforced on the world.
We're kicking in the wrong doors, terrifying children, helicopters scream over their heads at night, and I'm trying to calm the women and children while the men were dragged and separated out, completely humiliated in front of their families.
Not the peace of the grave or the security of the slave.
There was, this could have been her husband, I couldn't tell because he was so messed up, and a woman that was bleeding, not severely, and all she was screaming, why?
I am talking about genuine peace, the kind of peace that makes life on earth
And on my cheek.
the kind that enables men and nations to grow and to hope
And said, Inshallah,
and build a better life for their children.
which is God's will.
Not merely peace in our time.
I try not to think about it because I gotta stay 100%. You know, I gotta keep a good example in front of the other soldiers. I'm sorry.
This week on Apostasy Now, I have a friend of mine named Adam Lolacher. Adam is a man of conscience. He's an actor and a writer. He has had some personal experiences, which you'll hear about in the interview, that's led him to develop a script called Fought and Forgotten. It's about soldiers in society that are wounded inside. These people often end up with broken homes and as being homeless on the street in the worst kind of way. He's putting together a fund to make an independent short film to try and bring us all closer into the mindset and the life experience of what it's like to be a soldier with these psychological wounds and the life that they lead. I'm very proud of what Adam's put together, and I was extremely proud to have him on the show.
Because I'm very much a skeptic. I'm more of a skeptic than I am an atheist. I mean, atheist is a conclusion based on my skepticism.
You'll have to come like a little child to the foot of the cross.
That attitude is what is responsible for the rise of atheism.
That's not what Islam is all about. Islam is peace.
What is the penalty for leaving the Muslim faith? With the death penalty. Thank you.
This is Apostasy Now.
For people to get the information correct before they start yapping.
Get ready to root for the bad guys.
Begins with E, evidence. All the evidence.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm on speakerphone because I'm working on the website. I have a website now as well.
Okay, so this would be different from the Indiegogo?
Well, yeah, but there are links to Indiegogo and Facebook to the website. It's just a different method of media contact.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit all I'm going to hit all newspapers and news stations over the next 2 days via email and phone calls.
Yeah, it's good, and it's a good idea to have your own page for home base for everything too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want it to be it's my production company. So if you got a pen, or I guess I can forward it to you. We can talk about it, whatever you want.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'll also put anything that I can get as far as web addresses, pages, stuff like that. I'll link it on the show notes. I always encourage my listeners to go there too.
That's great. It's really great. Yeah, just my friend did the website. He's awesome. So I'm just kind of giving him notes right now. It's really fun.
It's always nice to have someone that does that for you. I do my own, and I don't know what I'm doing, so.
Well, I'm paying him, so yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm not as stoned now. I don't know if we're live or if we're on.
I'm recording us now, but I can edit that out if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, I don't care. I don't. You know, I'll get over it. So, what do you want to talk about? Like, talk to me.
Well, I've been going over a lot of the stuff for your project, and so you're asking about the show. So I'll just say that Apostasy now. My friend and I often have my friend with me when I'm doing the interviews. He's really busy though. So what the basic idea is that people that have an idea that breaks outside the norm, that they're not allowing themselves to be restrained sort of by apathy or expectation. So I think that your project and what you're doing with it fits really well with the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I dig the fact that you're doing a podcast first and foremost. If people are listening, which I'm sure they are, Corey and I went to university together.
Yep.
University of Zero. Huh. But no, man, that's where we learn like the basics, you know?
That's right.
Of life, not just acting or directing a show or whatnot, but it's just great that we can do this online and media and, you know.
Yeah, it's a different era we're living in. Things are changing quick.
And they keep changing.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely keep changing. So I'm all for it. You know, there are quite a few gadgets and apps. Like, I've never heard of the Chive. Have you heard of that? It's like a picture website where people check out your feed through different pictures. And there's Snapchat and all this other chat stuff. Media is crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I'm managing 3 websites here, and it's, you know how hard that is? Like, well, I want to give a shout out to Mike and Matt Mazer and Chris Sherman for helping out with the process.
These are the people that are working with you.
Yeah. And Andrew Hallowell. Andrew Hallowell, if he's listening. My family and you and everyone, man. It's a great cause. And stop me if I'm babbling. Like,
no, you're not. I think that the cause is what's. I know you've got a personality that people like very quickly, but I think that you've really picked up on something that when people are seeing what you're putting together, what you have to say about it. I think that we all, on some level, know, but it goes out of sight, out of mind, that we have all of these soldiers that we get to push out into the world, do our dirty work, basically, take the brunt, and then come back and we want to just kind of pretend they're all okay.
Right, and they're not. People that are open, and like I said, there are a lot that are afraid to open up, and that's fine. You know, it's strength is first kind of mentality, and I respect that. Or else I wouldn't be doing this. There are a lot of people out there that just need support, and I don't know, man. Like, I feel like we're obliged to do that. Like, we should be helping out. I mean, maybe it's different for me because my brother, you know, went over, and that's been a big part of my life, dealing with that. You know?
Yeah.
It's helped me open up. It's helped me emote. It's helped me grow stronger with my family as I get older. You know, it's made me look at the world differently. not just homeless veterans and soldiers and families, but fucking everyone, man. So I might swear from time to time.
You can swear all you want on my show.
You can't deal with it. It's too fucking bad. It's just a word. I won't say any bad words, lady.
Just so you know, the slogan for my show, for our show, is "Get ready to root for the bad guys."
Oh wow! Well, get ready to root for the good and bad guys.
There you go.
I can be a little bit. I'm just looking at the website that my friend Andrew Hallowell created, and it's great. It's just straight up simple. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
What's that? Should I email it to you?
You can send it to me by email or by Facebook.
I'll do it on email first if you haven't well, it's up there, but yeah. Sorry, man, I'm not that great with technology and stuff, so.
That's all right. I'm always learning as I go too. I had to learn everything about piecing together a podcast. I had a couple people that are giving me advice, but it's a lot of technical know-how. For a guy like me, it's a lot of technical know-how.
Yeah, I don't even own a computer. Like I'm staying with my good friend Bryce McLaughlin. Hey, Bryce, and he's got a fabulous computer that he lets me use, and it's really saved my ass. I mean, it just really has. I have good people in my life, including yourself, and I think that's part of the other reason I want to share this project is, connect with people, man.
Yeah.
Connect with all sorts, everyone. Whether you're a businessman or, an army vet or, a retired person. I don't know. I'm going to volunteer on Remembrance Day too. That'll be fun. So it's just really trying to feel the whole experience, and I don't know, man. It's kind of made me grown up and learn to become a man again. To be honest.
We were both we met in the theater program there in Ottawa. So I know that when you're getting into this kind of material, there's a lot of different types of material you can do on stage or in front of a camera, writing, acting. That is not going to be as challenging as this. This is really going to bring you. How do I put this? This is going to really challenge you. I'll just put it that way.
Hello, I'm Adam Lolacher, actor, writer, and producer.
I'm Chris Sherman, the director.
The project is entitled Fought and Forgotten. Fought and Forgotten is a film that I wrote. It's essentially about a young homeless veteran suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder who lives on the Vancouver East Side, struggling, searching for hope, for help. My brother Mark is in the Canadian military, and when he went away to Afghanistan for 9 months, I started thinking about all these different things, like, is my brother going to come back? Is he okay? What's he doing over there? And luckily enough, he returned. I just started doing research, and I found that 1 in 5 soldiers returns with post-traumatic stress disorder, and there's very little resources in Canada supporting these veterans when they come back. There isn't enough counseling, there's not enough support groups, there's not enough money, there's not enough doctors. I wrote this film because I want people to wake up. I want people to see it and go, wow, these people are everywhere.
It challenged me in pre-production world. Like, I was in Toronto a few months ago, and I was kind of unhappy, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. So I've been writing this film, but I decided to come back to Vancouver and get this film made. I wanted to follow through with something and fight for something that can make a difference. And it's I don't know. I'm just sick of sitting around and not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not as meaningful. It's fun, but it's not as meaningful just to do stuff for kicks or to pass the time. I think you've picked an excellent subject matter that people we don't know the details. People should learn more about it. But
yeah, they should, and we're trying, Corey. Believe me, we're trying. People should know more about it, and I don't know if you're aware, but a mental institution was just shut down here.
I didn't know.
A while back. They shut down a huge mental institution, and you know, a lot of those people have ended up back on the streets, dead, you know, not taken care of, and it's kind of unfortunate, you know. It's kind of like the Occupy deal, like we, you know, there are a lot of rich people, and then there are a lot of poor people. There's not a lot of in between.
Yeah.
You think those more wealthier people could maybe, and I know some of them do give back, but I'm talking like, have you seen Russell Brand's interview about the revolution on BBC? You should watch that.
Well, I'll check it out. I've heard people talking about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
He's really well spoken, and you know, he rambles a little bit, but you listen to him, and
you're blaming the political class of the fact you had a drug problem?
No. I'm saying I was part of a social and economic class that is underserved by the current political system, and drug addiction is one of the problems it creates when you have huge, underserved, impoverished populations. People get drug problems and also don't feel like they want to engage with the current political system because they see that it doesn't work for them. They see that it makes no difference. They see that they're not served.
No, I feel like he's onto something. Like, we need to change our way of thinking with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't see people talking to one another anymore. I just see them do it on their phones and people ignoring people. Like I said hi to someone the other day who was serving me. She didn't even say anything. She just waited for me to order from her. And maybe she was having a shitty day, but I don't know. Maybe the hello can change your shitty day.
Yeah.
I have shit to learn too. I just I'm not perfect. I get angry, I'm temper, I'm impatient.
You're a little mischievous.
Yeah, I'm a little mischievous, that's right. Just passionate about this cause. You have to ask me questions or I get on a slander. You know what I mean?
Well, you do. It's good info. That's why I'm listening. It touches a little bit on what I was getting into when you were asking about the audiobook. The stuff I've been getting into has a lot to do with the way we treat people that we now consider, we label them ill.
The Book of Woe, right?
Yeah, the Book of Woe. I'm starting to listen to it. And a really good person to listen to also is a guy by the name of Alan Francis. He's a psychiatrist who worked on the DSM-4, and now he's really trying to warn the public about what we're doing wrong with labels. And I think it's the same thing with any vulnerable group right now, is that it's more convenient for us to just slap a label on them. With children or with older folk like seniors, they're vulnerable in the sense that we like to medicate them so that they're quiet.
Right.
You know, they're inconvenient.
Like getting rid of the problem.
Yeah, and with the military, we have all kinds of excuses, I think, too. You know, I just don't... I have never understood why we keep talking about... Ever since I was young, I used to wonder this. What do they mean when they say, we have to remember on Remembrance Day? Like, are they actually thinking about what they're saying, or is it just a slogan that they're throwing out?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are big on the hush-hush mentality right now, you know?
Yeah.
Just like not facing reality, not owning up, not working together, not sharing, not communicating. I tell you, man, I've been meeting with soldiers, and a lot of them, you know, there are all these different legions and organizations, and you think they'd all be working together, but some of them aren't. And I'm not going to name names or anything, but I just feel like we could be dealing with things in a different way.
More coordinated.
And, just organized a lot. Like Romeo Dallaire is awesome. That guy supports. He's so busy. Like he's so hard to get a hold of, and he's like probably the biggest face for them. And Romeo, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna work on this project with us, buddy. I promise you. I know you're listening somewhere. Because he's fighting for the cause. He wants to help people. He wants people to be better, and that's what I kind of want to do. You know, I feel bad for some of those people, a lot of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, look at third world countries. It's everywhere. It's just different, in different ways.
I think also there's the factor that when we send these guys out, nowadays it's women too, right? We send these people out to do our fighting. It's a little more difficult for us to be as cavalier or even as permissive. I'd say even a lot of people who are anti-war as a rule at times are still permissive about wars, and it's more difficult to be that way when we really put a face on this, when we really see that, I was hearing the other day about a woman. She was saying, where was this clip? I can't remember where I heard this. She was saying it had been a long time, PTSD. She had problems recognizing the grass under her feet. I don't know where I heard this.
No, I was just going to say, what is that from?
Yeah, I don't know, but this was one of her things that like her condition was really bad. And she was saying that one day she was just laughing because she realized she could recognize the grass underneath her feet, and it was a normal feeling. And she was just so happy about it, she couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, dogs help soldiers out with PTSD. I have so many articles that I'm just gonna eventually start posting on our feeds, and I mean we're trying to reach all of Canada and the U.S. right? Like that's kind of our goal. And it's tough, man. It's tough doing that. You know, you got to be. There's so much stuff here where I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with this.
Well, I mean, you are starting somewhere. That's how it works.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I want you to check out the website if you can, Corey. Like, I don't know if you can look at it and talk. That might get us some. You're on the Facebook page too, right? Oh, it's www.special Lil L-I-L as in little angel.com.
Oh, there it is. Hey, there you are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think that photo's too much? I mean, it's pretty consistent.
I think it's good.
I think it's good to have one photo as the main thing.
Yeah. And people respond to a face, and the look you have is it's a kind of a ghostly look, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're going after. We got 362 likes on Facebook. Not bad for 2 days.
Yeah, that's really good. 2 days? Wow. You blew me away. You blew me away from my show. That's fast pickup, man. That's way fast.
That's okay, man. Let's see. I think we're at 1,800 raised over 2 days, which is pretty good. Super happy. Just going to try and keep the ball rolling. The website is simple. Like I said, Andrew Holloway did it. Hallowell. Yeah. There's a lot of useful information and videos and links on it. We apparently got suspended from Twitter today for a little bit. I don't even know if we're still there. I'm going to check it out right now. This is some exciting podcast news.
Why did Twitter suspend you? Did they give you guys a reason?
I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. It's rarely on. I don't know how to really use Twitter.
Yeah,
so,
I've only been getting my feet wet with it too. I've started picking up some pretty interesting communications with people on there, but a lot of times I'm really not sure what they expect me to do. Like they'll send me a message, and sometimes I don't even know the person. It'll have my name in it, so I get a notification, and they'll have these hashtags and links. And the link I understand, but I don't always understand what the hashtag means.
I don't either. I'm kind of confused by it. I mean, I don't know. I just it's so much work. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like my cousin. Holy shit! My cousin Donna just hugged my videos to all her friends, and she's in the States, so it's slowly happening, my man.
To make a film that brings us into the experience that these people are going through day to day might make us look at them differently, and as not these hollow vessels walking around, but instead they're human beings, and they're just stuck in this place that we, people that haven't suffered from PTSD, can't even begin to comprehend.
I was officially diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder on 4 December 2012. But I've been struggling with it, as most of my friends and family could tell you, for probably about 2 years before that. There's lots of guys out there who haven't come forward, and I know some guys who haven't come forward. Lots of guys think it can only be me, like I'm the only one that's dealing with this, and it's not true. If you're suffering in any way, you go get help, or even at least talk to a friend about it.
Tell me a little bit about kind of the process of, you told me that your brother was what really started this interest, like really started you thinking about this. So where did it go from there? Like, did you start talking to your brother and some of his friends? What did you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta say this first, because this is probably one of the things I most remember, and that's when there's nothing that'll really prepare you for saying bye to a loved one that's going overseas to be in a battle. It's a weird feeling. So that was tough. But every time with something that would happen overseas where my brother was, it'd be like, is he okay? Is he okay? What's going on? So once you do that in your mind a little bit more than like once a week, you really start to think about it and think about the world. And for me, I was lucky my brother came back after 9 months. And, I never really asked him any questions, but I was concerned, not concerned, just curious. So I started writing just thoughts and stuff, and that kind of started turning into a story, which later turned into a screenplay. And then I don't know, I find like my brother being in the Army has drawn us closer together. It's really opened our relationship up, which is great. We have a pretty straight up approach. We're very different but very alike. I don't know, I just kind of started writing this story about a soldier and started meeting up with some of his buddies who are in the Army, and some suffer from PTSD, and some don't. And I didn't like jot notes in front of them. I just kind of listened to them and talked to them. Would have a beer, and they're great guys. I mean, one of the guys we interviewed is Lindsay Mitchell. He's on the Indiegogo Facebook website. We're going to be putting out more ideas soon. Sorry, I'm just jotting something down because I got a crazy page.
Well, you're going to be busy for a while, I imagine. I mean, it sounds like this is going to be taking up more of your spare time than my podcast has been taking up of mine, and that's saying something.
Yeah, well, and I just finished a gig on my main man, James Hudson's film. He wrote an indie film, and I've been working on it for the last week. So after this weekend, I have more time to focus on it. Mind you, I've been auditioning a bit, which is great, but I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on this project, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Whether we raise our $15,000 projected, idea, that would be nice.
I was checking out that page. I think that you guys have an excellent chance of raising the money you need as well.
Yeah, thanks, man. We just need to get it into the right hands, and that's what we're going to contact media. I've got a huge list of people that send a group email. It's just sometimes it's tough because people take a while to respond to email. So we're going to do an event raiser as well. I know we kind of got off topic a little bit. We were talking about the idea of why I wrote it.
But, yeah. We can always go back. Yeah.
But that leads into the film business part of the conversation.
Yeah.
You need money to, you need money to film something.
Absolutely. That's the side also that most people don't know anything about. So telling them a little bit about that when you talk to people probably helps them have an understanding of, just a glimpse at where this money's going is. I think it's helpful for people to kind of see that.
Oh boy, man! I don't know. I've been on a lot of indie film sets, and just through friends of mine, they kind of just led by example, and I kind of they made me want to learn on how to do it, on how to create a film and get a team of people together and try to raise money. And it's honestly just common sense and being organized and working your ass off. Persistence. My father's a businessman, so maybe part of that is in my blood.
I don't know if I've ever asked you about your parents. I know I met them once. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, for Trans-Canada Highway, right?
That's right. Yes,
I carry tweed.
Do you by any chance recall that what we did that day when I met your parents?
Did we smoke a joint or?
Yeah, so you didn't tell me we were going to meet your parents, and after our show, we smoked a joint, so we're baked, and then you sit me down at the table with your parents.
Well, I guess that's something I did when I was a bit younger. Whoops.
That's all right. It's a good memory.
Yeah.
At the time, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure what was going on, but
yeah, whoops. Yeah, not the worst night. What the hell? We keep getting sidetracked.
As far as the momentum goes, I think the part you got to was that you were talking to some of your brother's friends and starting to kind of go around and get information. And like you say, it's not like you were making, you weren't doing research for a journalist piece. This was something that was probably building over time. You're absorbing their stories.
Yeah, I was absorbing their stories and trying to find my own way of telling the story.
Yeah.
And that kind of, it has to do with two passions of mine, and that's, other than acting, is making coffee, because I've been a barista for 12 years. And, the idea of Army and the discipline, and of course my brother being a part of the Army, as well as both my grandfathers and my cousin Sean is involved with the Army. We've had, it's running our family a little bit. So it's kind of like my brother keeping the tradition open and going, which is kind of cool. And I just kind of wanted to. The story is very personal as well as fictional. They're parts of both my life as well as the imagination that are involved in this story, and just experiencing the Vancouver East Side, and seeing people beg for money, and just seeing the rich and the poor and all that, just experiencing it. It really opens your eyes, that neighborhood down there. You walk on the street and it's like a different aura.
I was seeing in the description there that that's where you guys are going to film it, in a gritty neighborhood.
Well, that's why we need the money, because we need to pay for permits. And I'd really like to pay the cast and the crew, and it's for post production. Like, making a movie is expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we feel that amount is proper and fair. So we're going to do our best.
I know a lot of people from Vietnam that was air gunner. Mm-hmm. He was on helicopters, and he had 2 kids. You get an order, you do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're all there for something that they believe in, and they'll die. And you're still suffering from day one. Mm-hmm. It does not go away, okay?
I want this film to feel firsthand like you just suffered from PTSD for the last 8 minutes. That's the plan. That's the goal. If we can really feel that, then I think we can begin to understand where these people are at.
With raising money, another sidetrack, you gotta just focus, man.
Yeah, you also gotta circulate, you gotta get everyone else to. I think that is why I'm confident you guys are gonna reach your financial goal. I was already confident before we spoke that I know you, and if you're speaking as confidently about the project, then I'm sure the whole thing's gonna come together. But also the money situation is when you have something like this that immediately touched me with the topic you had chosen and the way you're handling it. I want to let everyone that I know know about it, and hopefully those people will let other people know.
I hope so.
Yeah, the more of us that do that, the more it branches out, the more people will come back and consider donating, or funding it rather, and even more people will, come in and watch the show afterwards because they're going to want to see what the hype was about now that it's come to fruition.
I think so, and I think, we have a really good team for that, as well as we just want to make it great. We want to make a really strong film that connects with people and really opens their eyes and goes, I should volunteer once a month, or, maybe I should get more informed, or maybe I should go visit my grandfather, or whatever. Maybe I should get off my fucking phone and be a human being, and give back to the community, whether it's a PTSD veteran, or a homeless person, or a drug addict, or a paraplegic, or soup kitchen, or being nice to someone, looking someone in the eye. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think that human contact, that's already coming across strong from what I'm seeing from your project, is the human contact is what is really needed.
It's about hope. It's about caring. It's about second chances. It's about survival. It's about love, and emptiness, loneliness. It's like I said, man, part of it's really personal, which I think is the beauty of writing and poetry and art, music and acting. I don't know. I guess you could say I'm in a very interesting part of my life right now.
I saw that you were talking at one point a while back about interviewing people, and I've seen there's a couple of videos where there's someone actually speaking in an interview. Did you actually find people that are willing to come forward that you didn't know necessarily through your brother, that were willing to talk about their experiences?
Well, I got connected by this guy that comes into the bar I work at part-time. Nice guy. He hooked me up with Les. He's a homeless veteran. He lives down on the east side. I've met with a couple people that are involved with the Army still: Brian McKenna, John Morrison, Matt Hunt, Lindsay Mitchell, who's on the interview. I'm meeting new people through Facebook and our webpage. Like I said, I'm going to be volunteering on Monday during Remembrance Day, so I'm going to be meeting some people there. It's mainly been through other people and connections, and I have wanted to go to the east side and just, guerrilla style and interview, but you got to be careful down there. Lucky for us, we've met a lot of cool people and willing people to open up and talk.
Yeah.
Through other people. Like, I've got more interviews coming with different soldiers. Oh, my buddy Zach Lolacher, I have an interview with him as well. He's a great guy. He's from former Yugoslavia, Serbia, and so he was in the war in the 90s. He was pretty cool. They're all pretty open and honest. And that's really shown me certain characteristics and what people who have experienced what I'm trying to get out, like what's really going on, and what they're feeling and how they view the world. And I can only imagine that if you go overseas and then you come back, it would almost make you angry or upset how people are living their lives. Like, wake up, or whatever.
Well, one of the things that some people do when I talk about this, I have a couple people I know that are also in the military. One of them has a friend from way back. He's a really good guy, but he was an officer, and he's got I don't know if it's a very diplomatic way that he speaks about it, or whether his experience is just very different from maybe someone who's got the boots on the ground, right?
Right.
And so he's left the military. He's doing other things. But a few years ago, when we were having a discussion, he made an offhand comment. He just said, well, the military tends to treat us really well. Or the government tends to treat us guys from the military really well when we leave. And
they do? Don't.
He said that they do. Yeah, and I shot him this I must have given him a look. And he's like, what, you don't think so? And I'm like, yeah, I think they like to say that they do. But
I agree with you. I think kind of the way they're handling it now is with veterans, I think that get money back, they get all their money at once. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think, as I've been talking to other soldiers who I won't name, but they say, like, if you give a soldier, someone who's discharged from the Army, all their money at once, they're not going to save it. They're going to blow it. They're going to buy cars, drink, do drugs, and we need to create something where when these people come back, they're taken care of. Like, we're here for them.
Yeah.
You've got all these organizations. I almost feel like it's just, I feel like we all need to work together.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of people out there that do great work. I just feel like we need a few websites. And I feel like we need like a place where they can go transition and have therapy and be able to open up to people and, like get into life slowly but surely.
Yeah. Maybe the problem, I've often thought of it this way, that we have no problem having these really over patriotic, hyperbolic ideas about soldiers, like they are the brave, they are the ones that are this icon of patriotism. But maybe it's the practical side we need. Maybe we need to stop focusing on these like cartoon images of them and start really focusing on them in a practical way as we do any other part of our society. Maybe it gets in the way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're supposed to be the Canadian version of Captain America, every one of them coming back a super soldier and no emotional harm. I can't even put myself in their shoes, what some of those guys go through over there.
I can't either, and a lot of those people relive that shit almost every day. So that's hard to make disappear. But a lot of people are afraid to open up and talk about it.
Yeah.
And fair enough. But when they come back, man, and they don't have anyone like family or friends, they end up on the street, or they end up, in a body bag, or they run away, or I don't know. It's just
now there's 4 of you that I know of that are acting in it, right?
That what? Yeah, main characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 7.5-page script. I wrote it with the intention of getting Bravo's, film company, TV station, and they have a short film program, which is great, all over Canada. They have different application process, whether it be a 1-minute film or a 7.5-minute film, and I wrote 7.5 pages and sent it in with Mike Mazur and everyone on the team helping out, sending the resume and headshot and whatnot. And it was a lot of work, and it was great. So we're waiting to hear back from them. That's over the next couple of weeks. What was my train of thought? What were we talking about? Sorry.
It's all right. People can't know this, but it's actually, at least it's pretty late over here. It's pretty late over there, too.
Yeah.
3-hour difference.
One in the morning. Why, you got to go to bed?
No. I'm just saying that's why we're losing our train of thought.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my brain is all over the place, so...
well, I was going to say that somebody else has done some acting. I know that you're saying you can't put yourself in their shoes, but in a way, you're going to be sort of doing that. That was something I was thinking when I was saying that this is going to be challenging for you. That you're going to,
right.
You shouldn't let a character go home with you, but at the same time, when you're playing that character, you have to be there, right? You have to be there.
Yeah, and I think those working with those 3 other actors like Milan, Karen, and Matt will be great because they'll be real people. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get there and see what it's like and stay there for a bit, and it's probably gonna make me feel all sorts of different things, and But you're right, I agree with you. You have to kind of go there and do your research. And, you know, I'm planning on living on the streets for a little bit before we start filming. Not a lot, but just as an experiment and just as a character study in a humane society, like human study, if you will. And it's not ego and like, ooh, he's being method. I don't like care what people. I don't really care what people think about that or say. It's an acting and a life exercise.
Actually, I would say it's humility. You don't want to go out there and play this character who is going through all of this stuff that people in real life go through. That's very very important to not just kind of flake off about it. You're taking it seriously.
Well, it's like, I'm not going to just put on some fucking raggedy clothes and say I'm homeless. Like, I'm going to be a man and go out there and explore it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna take some juice with me and probably some cigarettes and my phone and maybe a piece of ID. I'm gonna do some video journal. So I'll keep you posted on that. I think that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of, I'd like to see if there's any kind of transition, or, you know, I'll probably find my character out there, you know?
Yeah.
We have a lot of soldiers coming back in the new year, like thousands, and no one's prepared for it. I'm passionate because my brother's gone over there and fought for his country, and we've lost almost 160 Canadian soldiers. It's time to start caring. We have Naeem Sutherland, our DOP, who's very talented. We have Andrew Hallowell, who's going to compose the score. Matt Lyon, who's going to be the editor, as well as Karen Conoval. We also have Milan Dan Robeck, and we have Matt Mazer.
One phrase I'm using for the character right now is fight or flight. And that's something that I've been told by a few people is a way that, you know, soldiers, like code of ethics kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? So fight or flight. And it's funny to me, this guy in the movie, his name is John Doe, because we don't really know his name, is in a different type of battle.
Yeah.
He's still like, it's like he's over in Afghanistan, but he's in the east side of Vancouver instead. So the stakes are, you know, and he's through a ship and has a change, and it's, I don't know, it's cool. It's a nice little, it's a fun story. Not fun, but I think it'll be engaging the way that Chris and Naeem, I think, want to shoot it. You know, really gritty, really realistic. That's why we casted who we casted, and why we chose the East Side as another character in the piece. The weather's going to be a huge factor, which is probably going to make the film even grittier. You know, we're filming in December, so it's going to be cold and wet, and it's just I want the full meal deal, right, Corey? I want to experience it all, not just being homeless or whatever, but making a film and really being a professional.
Well, that's your strong suit. That's your strong suit, man. I said it's your strong suit. I remember the play that way back. Remember way back in theater, you were in that play, Trans Canada. We mentioned already. Yeah. That not everyone. I don't think everyone's suited for that type of a role. But I was looking for. We had one little prop, and everything else was the exchange between the characters, and to be able to play that as a natural situation and really get into it. I think it's your strong suit, man. I don't think that you need. I don't think you need computer generated effects to make yourself look believable when you're doing something.
Thanks, buddy. As I say that, I'm walking a circle right now in my buddy's kitchen, like around. It kind of divides the whole room, so I'm really in 4 rooms at once.
Oh yeah.
Like now I'm in the hallway, now I'm in the kitchen, now I'm in the living room by the computer, and now I'm by the piano. It's really fucking weird. Yeah, I had a bit to drink tonight, folks. So what? Just kidding. I don't know. I'm excited, man.
Well, it's good doing what you love, right?
Oh, of course. And, yeah, I'm really happy that you're doing this thing too, this podcast. And, you're obviously passionate about it because it's, it's 1:15 in the morning in Ontario. So it is good doing what you love. I mean, unfortunately, I'm just going to keep working hard until it pays off, and it will pay off. It already is.
When you were looking through your research, I'm just a little curious about this. I know the project where I probably learned the most eye-opening stuff was I went through an audiobook called Nonviolence, and the main topic obviously is about saying that we need to start learning to be completely nonviolent and resolving our aggressions, like our disagreements with each other. But
yeah, that's a hard one.
It is tough, yeah. But it was interesting. Even if you don't take up the cause of nonviolence, you can still really be blown away by some of the statistics and research that are mentioned in it about just every generation seems to be amazed when their soldiers come home. Like every generation that there's problems. It's like, how can we not learn? How can this not be something that we learn? That this is happening?
I think people really need to go through it to wanna. I mean, some people volunteer and make a difference, but the majority, I think, the only people that really, really are affected or start putting interest in it are those who are affected by it or involved in it.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, and like I said earlier, we need to reach a greater audience. Now, that being said, like I said earlier, again, there are world problems, there's starvation, there's people dying every day. It's difficult. There's almost 7 billion people on this planet. A lot of people.
That is a lot.
Almost too many. And I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying. That's a hell of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Today, he's the director of the Veterans Welcome Home and Resource Center in Little River. But in 1968 and 69, he was Private Chris Tortolat, U.S. Army Military Intelligence.
We lived right next to the grunts all day, every day.
But he worries about returning vets from Iraq and Afghanistan. He says their families suffer in silence, while the vets deny they have PTSD or think they can get over it themselves.
And our big thing, to make them aware that they are suffering and there are people that will help them.
Friends and family, I imagine they're the ones who are on the front line of realizing there's a problem, trying to coordinate ways to help. And this film, I'm going to promote it. I'm going to promote the shit out of it because I think it's important also for families to realize that they're not alone.
Yeah, we're trying to reach some families too. It's so difficult because you don't want to invade people's privacy.
Yeah.
But do you know who Trevor Green is?
No.
He was a soldier in Afghanistan who had his head struck with a hatchet by a 16-year-old boy.
Oh, wow.
And he survived. And he's on the island, and we've reached out to him, and he's willing to help. We're going to try and reach out as many people as possible, soldiers and families. Don Cherry, we're coming for you too.
Is Don Cherry a vet?
No, well, he's a big supporter of the military.
Okay, well, that I was assuming.
Yeah. He's an honorary member of the Patricia Pats, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm trying to get in contact with him. So we're hoping he'll plug us on Hockey Night in Canada.
Wow, that would be amazing.
I'm gonna do all my best to try and get in touch with him, as well as Ron McLean in Hockey Night in Canada, and as well as Arlene Dickinson and Brett Wilson from Dragon's Den. They're military supporters, Brett and Arlene. So I'm gonna try out and reach out to them. So not for money, just support.
Yeah.
Like I said, people don't have to give money. They can like our page. They can send an email address. They can click on a photo and look at it. Yeah. It'll make you think. Or what have you.
Every person that they let know about it, eventually, as that branches out, there'll be more and more people who are willing to help you in different ways, right?
Right. Yeah, man, it's all about helping each other.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So, it's go time. I feel like I rambled a lot. It didn't make any sense.
No, you have not rambled a lot and not made. You have made sense. There, that's the right way to say
Okay, because I'm still really stoned.
Well, I will go through it and I'll take out some of our uhs and ums and stuff like that.
Yeah, and our this and that. Oh, do you want me to plug it? Do you want me to? I mean, it's Facebook Fought and Forgotten, a short film.
Yeah.
And then it's on Indiegogo, Fought and Forgotten. And then there's a website, www.speciallilangel.com. Yeah. And then we're at Twitter at Fought and Forgotten.
Yeah, and if people go and they sign up to help the project financially, they get something in exchange for that, depending on how much they give is depending on what they're going to get back. But that's all on the site as well.
That's all on the site. It's all on Indiegogo. That's all Indiegogo's great idea. I mean, it's a great way to get people involved in your project, make a new connection, as well as give something back to the donator, which, I don't know, I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
You get memorabilia from the film. You can get a picture of the cast. You can, in our case, get a T-shirt or a dog tag. You can, come to our rap party. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's everyone gets something. Everyone helps each other out, like I said. So check it out. Let's keep giving back. Do something nice for someone now and then.
During the First World War, a new condition emerged that caught the military and medical establishment completely off guard. There was no telling who would be affected by it or why. Those who suffered from it might be hypnotized or electrocuted, arrested or shot, all for the same illness. So many men were lost to it. There would be a revolution in military attitudes and a new field of medicine created. The condition was called shell shock.
These are the men whose minds the dead have ravished. Memory fingers in their hair of murders. Multitudinous murders they once witnessed.
The war on the Western Front was different from any war fought before.
So I hope that if you can afford to help, that you will consider doing so. And if you can't, spread the word. This is a worthy cause, and outside the project as well as with the project, I hope that more of you will become familiar and involved with helping the people that help defend our lives and try to do their duty. Go to Indiegogo and look for Fought and Forgotten, or you can go to the website that they just put up a little while ago, www.speciallilangel.com, all one word. The word special, L-I-L, angel, all one word. And if you're on Facebook, Twitter, spread the word on the pages that you're on, the contacts that you have. Bring more people there, because the more people that are involved, the more good this can do. Thanks. Tune in next time. And thanks for being on the show, Adam.